Welcome along to part 2 of our video tutorial where we are creating ourselves a budget for our market day stall. In the first part of the video we worked out what we wanted to buy from the shops and how much that was going to cost us. What we need to do now is come up with some pricing decisions where we work out how much we're going to sell our items for to our customers. We want to come up with a few different ideas and then try and work out which price will be the best. Alrighty, so what we're going to do to get started today is we're going to make a new worksheet. Okay, and we do that by going down the bottom here and pressing this little plus button. When you press the plus button, you get a name here that says sheet, probably says sheet 2 on yours. I'll just rename mine to sheet 2. What you need to do when you put that in is just double click on the name that says sheet 2, and I want you to rename it to pricing. Okay, you can click back on sheet 1 at any time and get your original budget up. Okay, we might double click on sheet 1 as well down here and just rename that to budget. So now you've got two tabs in your workbook. You've got a budget tab and you've got a pricing tab. I want you to head over to the pricing tab now. Hold down Control on your keyboard and just zoom in by scrolling on your mouse a little bit. Start today in cell number B2. And all I want you to do is put in the heading for the table, which is going to be pricing decisions with a dash. And I want you to write down the item, or one of the items that you're going to be selling on market day. For this example, I'm going to be using cans of Coke. Alright, now underneath that we need to put in some subheadings. I'm going to write in price per can. Okay, so in this column what we're going to be doing is working out how much we want to sell our can of Coke for to our customers. Just resize that column a bit so that the heading fits. In the next cell across, in cell C3, I'm going to write in a fairly big heading here. Cans needed to be sold to cover costs. So we need to work out how many cans need to be sold to cover our costs. Okay, I think it costed, what was it, $13.80 for 20 cans of Coke. I need to work out how many I need to sell before I can start making a profit. I've got to make my money back first before I start actually making a profit. Okay, so once we've resized that column, we've got one more to put in over here in cell D3, and it's just going to be called maximum profit. Okay, so we need to work out how much profit we are expecting to make on our market day. Alright, from here you can just colour in a bit of this and make it look pretty. So I'm going to highlight the heading row, so that's all three columns there, and click merge and center. I'll middle align it, make it bold, make it size 16. I'll colour it in and change the colour of the font as well. Alright, so we've got pricing decisions, can of Coke. For the subheadings, I'll highlight all of them, I'll put them in bold, choose a lighter orange, and I'll middle align and center align that text as well. I will also highlight everything I've got there and just put a border around them as well. So you should have a table looking something like that so far. Now before we go and complete this table down here, what I'm going to do is make a little table off to the side. So I'm just going to resize column E and make it a bit skinnier. And in column F, I'm going to head down to, I might start on F4, just here. And I'm going to write in total number of cans. We need to work out how many cans we're buying from Coles in total, what the total cost of those cans is, so total cost of cans, and then we want to work out what is going to be the individual price of those cans. Okay, so cost per single can. I'm going to highlight, actually I'll make that column bigger first of all, just so that that text fits in. Then I'll highlight those three rows there, and I'll put a border around them and just colour them in that light orange. I'll also highlight the three empty boxes next to them, so G4 down to G6, and put a border around those as well. And we can start to fill this little table in here before we fill out this main one over here. So we need to work out the total number of cans that we are buying from Coles. If I go back to my budget, you can see here we're buying 10 pack of Diet Coke, and we're buying 2 packets of those, so there's going to be 20 cans in total. So I'm just going to middle and center align that text and write in 20. For the next two boxes, it says we need to write in the total cost of the cans and the cost per single can. So let's go back to our budget and work out how much that's going to cost for all of those cans of Coke, and you can see here in the total column, $13.80. So back in our pricing, we'll just write in here, 13.80. Don't worry about a dollar sign yet, we're going to format that cell in just a moment to have the dollar sign. And now we need to work out the cost per single can. Okay, the way we do that, it's quite simple, it's just a formula. So write the equals sign to put a formula in, and we're simply going to click on this 13.8. So that's the total cost of all of our cans, and we're going to divide that number by how many cans we're selling. So that's 20. So our formula ends up being equals G5 divided by, use that forward slash for a divide symbol, G4. So G5 divided by G4. Press enter, and you get 0.69, which is equal to 69 cents per can. Just to make these two cells look like their monetary values, just highlight them and click the dollar sign up in your ribbon at the top. So now you can see the total cost of cans is $13.80, and if we were to sell them individually, we'd have to sell them for 69 cents each just to make our money back. Alright, so now that we've got this information on the right, we can come across here and start filling out the rest of this table. Now the rest of this table just needs to contain 3 different pricing options that we can sell our can of Coke for. Okay, we'll have one cheap price, one fairly reasonable price, and then one a bit more expensive price. So there's going to be 3 different options here. So I'm going to highlight those next 3 rows down, those 3 blank rows, and just put a border around those. And I want you to come up with 3 different prices that you could sell your can of Coke for. Alright, remember it has to be greater than 69 cents. So I'm going to write in maybe $1 for the first can, $1.50 for the second, and then $2 for the third. So these are my 3 different options I've got to sell my can of Coke for. Highlight those 3 numbers and remember to click the dollar sign at the top here to put it into the accounting number format. Makes it look a bit more like monetary values. Alright, so we could sell our cans for $1, which is nice and cheap. Could sell them for $1.50, which is slightly more expensive, but it's not too much. And we can also sell our cans of Coke for $2. So a bit more pricey, but will make us a bigger profit in the end if we sell them all. Okay, so let's have a look at now how many cans need to be sold to cover our basic costs. Alright, so we need to use a formula for this. We're simply going to write equals, we're going to click on G5, so our total cost of our cans, and we're going to divide that by the price that we want to sell our cans for, so in this case $1. Press enter, and it tells us we need to sell 13.8 cans of Coke to make our money back. Alright, the issue being here is we can't sell 0.8 of a can of Coke. Alright, you need to sell them in whole numbers. So what we need to do is round this number up. Okay, so to round this number up, you need to get back into your formula. So double click on this cell and it will bring your formula back up. What I need you to do, after that equals sign, and in capital letters, I want you to write the word round up. And then open up a bracket. You'll leave your formula there, so G5 divided by B4. Put a comma, write 0. That's just saying we want 0 decimal places. Close your bracket, and that's the formula you need. That will round up your number to no decimal places. Press enter. There we go. Instead of 13.8 now, we know we need to sell 14 cans of Coke to cover our costs. I might just highlight these cells here and just middle align and center align them. And I'm going to do the same formula down below here. Okay, except this time we're going to be looking at the $1.50 mark. So we're going to write in equals, and in capital letters write the word round up, open up a bracket, and do that same calculation where we click on the $13.80, which is G5, and divide it by $1.50, which is cell B5. Put in a comma and write the number 0, which says we just want to round it up with 0 decimal places. Press enter, and it tells us we need to sell 10 cans of Coke if we sell them for $1.50 before we start making a profit. Alright, and finally we've got a $2 can of Coke. So in this cell, equals, round up, and in brackets we click on $13.80, divide it by the $2 over here, put a comma, type in 0 decimal places and close your bracket. There's our formula. Press enter and it tells us we need to sell 7 cans of Coke now to make our money back. Alright, so the final thing we need to do for our pricing decision is work out how much profit we can make if we sell our cans at $1, $1.50 and $2. Alright, so this sounds a little bit confusing, but it's not too hard, this formula that we're going to put in. So underneath maximum profit here, I want you to write an equals sign. Now we're going to do 2 steps in this formula. The first one is to open up a bracket, and I want you to times the price of the can by how many we hope to sell. So I'm hoping to sell all of them, which is 20 cans. So that's cell number B4 times G4. So $1 times 20 cans. Then we close our brackets, and then we're going to take away G5, which is how much it actually costs to buy all of those cans. Alright, that's our formula. A little bit confusing, but we'll go through it again on the next one. Just press enter, and it tells us we can make a $6.20 profit if we sell all 20 of our cans at $1 each. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, so for the next one we write equals. Always start your formulas with the equals sign, and we click on $1.50, and we're going to times that by how many cans we hope to sell, so 20 cans. Alright, oops, I forgot to put brackets around this, so I'm actually put brackets around that, so it's brackets B5 times G4. Then we take away how much the cartons of Coke actually cost us, so we click on cell G5. So there's our formula, equals B5 times G4, and then we take away how much it actually costs to buy the Coke, and then we're left over with $16.20. So that's $10 more just by jacking up the price of each can by 50 cents. Now we've got the big one. So the cans are a bit more expensive here, but we should make a pretty healthy profit. So what we need to do is one more formula where we write equals, open up a bracket, click on the price of the can and times it by the number of cans we're going to sell. So that's 20. Close your bracket and then take away this number here, the total cost of the cans. There's our formula, equals B6 times G4 in brackets, and then we take away G5, or the total cost of the cans. And we're left with $26.20. Alright, so that's our table done for our pricing decision. Alrighty, you need to work out now what you're going to sell your cans of Coke for. Will it be $1 and you'll make a profit of $6.20? Will it be $1.50 where you can make a slightly bigger profit of $16.20? Will it be $2 per can where you make a profit of $26.20? Now it would be nice to make a big profit like this, but you've got to remember, are your customers actually going to spend that extra money on a simple can of Coke? $2 might be a little bit too expensive for them. Okay, so you might want to drop it down a little bit to like $1 or $1.50, and that way you're guaranteed to cover your minimum costs and hopefully make yourself a little profit along the way. Alright, now if you've got other items that you need to sell, okay, you're going to need to add those tables in down below. Alright, so in my case, I still need to sell pies and sausage rolls. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment and I'm going to fill those out quickly, and then I'm going to come back once I've done that so I don't bore you to tears. Alrighty, so I'm back now, and as you can see I've added in my tables for the pies and for the sausage rolls. Okay, the information down the right hand side here simply came from my budget tab. So back over here, I looked at how many sausage rolls or packets of sausage rolls I wanted to buy and the total it was going to cost me. Same with the pies. Okay, and that information ended up down the right hand side. I then used some formulas over here on the left hand side to work out what my maximum profit would be. Okay, one thing to take note of is the price per pie. Okay, it's changed from the cans of Coke. Cost per single pie is 95 cents. Okay, so to make a profit, I need to be selling my pies for more than 95 cents. Okay, so I thought $1.50 might be reasonable for a cheap pie, $2 and $2.50 for the slightly more expensive ones. Now looking at sausage rolls, I had to sell them for 21 cents to at least make my money back. So I thought I could sell them for either 30 cents, 50 cents or 75 cents. Remember, they are little party sausage rolls, so they can't be too expensive. Alrighty, so that's how I got all of those tables done. Now once you've got those tables done, you need to pick a final price that you want to sell your items for. Okay, so looking at my cans of Coke, I think $1 is a good price, but we don't make much of a profit. So I'm going to try my luck and sell it for $1.50. So I'm going to highlight that row, and I'm just going to color it in a certain color. So I might choose yellow as my color, just to show that I've selected $1.50 for my price per can of Coke. Looking down a bit further at my pies. Okay, could sell them for $1.50, $2 or $2.50. Now they're pretty big pies, they're going to be nice and hot, and people are going to want those on a pretty cold winter's day. So I'm going to try my luck and go for the big profit, make $31 profit here. Okay, if it gets pretty dire towards the end of the break and I haven't sold many pies, I might lower the price to $2 or even $1.50. At least then I still know that I can sell all my pies and make a profit. Alright, and then looking at the sausage rolls, okay, they're only very small, so I might stick with 50 cents for my pies. So I'll highlight that and colour it in yellow just to show that I've selected the 50 cents for the price. Alrighty, so that's all we need to do for our pricing decisions. We've got one final video to go where we work out how much profit we are expecting to make. So make sure you hit the save disc at the top so that you've saved this budget. And I will see you in the final video where we work out our estimated total profit. See you then.